Matt, how are you?
Hello, bro. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yourself?
So intimate right now, staring into each other's eyes.
Yeah, pretty romantic. I should have lit a candle.
You may as well have.
I'll put on some perfume before you came around too.
So wonderful.
Some of my wife's stuff.
I appreciate the effort. Yeah.
She's not home at the moment, so
Thank God I get to
take
do
advantage
myself.
of it. Yeah.
Thanks so much for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime, man. I was thinking about it for a long time trying to get you on, so I'm glad it kind of
worked out pretty organically there. Hey,
yeah, definitely, man. So this is episode 10. So
episode 10. Congrats, bro.
Yeah, thanks.
Had a pretty fun list of blokes so far already. Eh?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it's been good. I'm actually surprised because when I started out, I didn't really know if anyone would want to talk to me because I'm not really hugely part of the scene, really.
No, I think everyone knows who you are. So I think, as I said to you, I think people can tell when someone puts the effort in, and certainly elevates it. You know, there's a lot of shit podcasts out there.
but hopefully people enjoy this one. Sick. They seem to so far. I've been getting good positive feedback. So, but
I think it's cool having the video side as well. You know? I think that makes a big difference. Like,
I know a lot of people listen while they drive, but I personally, I have a pretty, a solitary job where I just sit there for long periods of time. I get on YouTube all the time, watching podcasts. So
sitting in the crane,
having a wank. Yeah. Nah, don't know about that. Yeah. Boss might be listening.
It's all good, bro. Secrets are good,
So, so you've got some tour coming up, with Infrastructure.
Tour, man. Fucking Jesus, we've been sitting on that info for a long time.
Yeah.
I reckon we've known about that. Like we toured last year a couple times.
Yeah, you went over to Adelaide and stuff, eh?
We went to Adelaide the year before last year, just on a one-off, just to fucking go play a random show. Yeah. Then we did a full Oz tour in May last year. We did fucking couple of Victorian shows with Shibalba and Honest Crooks towards the end of the year. And now we're back again this year.
Yeah, right.
Full Australian tour with Indestruction.
That's fucking
bro. It's like
that's crazy.
We supported them when they were in Perth last year, and got pretty tight with them. Yeah. We spent a lot of time with them when they were in Perth and shit like that.
Cool, man. We hung out and stuff.
Good relationship with them, so worked out pretty organically that we ended up we're doing the whole tour with
them. That's good,
now,
man.
It's insane.
And you know what? I don't really know you that well. I've spoken to you once before at a show, I think. But from the outside looking in, it seems like you guys really work really hard.
Look, that's a big deal to hear that, man.
Yeah.
We have
and I just noticed that, and I don't even know you, so I'm not saying it because I'm your fucking mate and I'm
just trying
to
suck that dick a little
blow
bit.
smoke out your ass or something. But no, just 100% honest, man. I can tell
it's really cool.
It's noticeable, man, because and you're just always doing cool shit. It's not like a lame shit that you're trying to pump up as being cool. It's actually really cool shit.
It's like a band will release one song every 6 months and blow up about it forever and ever. Yeah,
sound like us? Nah.
No shade intended, bro.
No, I'm joking. It's a bit of a dig at myself. Need to pull my finger out, but
to hear that is a fucking huge deal. Like we know how hard we work. So to hear people recognize that is that's fucking amazing to us.
And you're just doing your own thing. But to be honest, I don't listen to that genre heaps. I don't know much about it. But it just seems like you're kind of doing your own little thing, which is fucking cool, man.
Yeah, we really just had the intention to just be dumb, ridiculously heavy from the start, and I think we've kind of executed that pretty well, to be honest. Yeah. Just to tell, I wouldn't say it's a niche necessarily, but the common...
You got your own spin on it, though.
Well, exactly. The common thing to do these days is, metalcore or new metal kind of fucking thing. I think we really tapped into our own kind of little lane of... What's
your genre? What would you label it?
That's a great question, honestly. We get fucking called a lot of weird shit. We get called slam, we get called deathcore, we get called beatdown, we get called metalcore. I personally would say we're deathcore. I don't.
It's got a bit of hardcore element to it.
Yeah, well, I think me vocally is quite a hardcore sound that that I kind of give off, but
it is,
musically
yeah.
it's fucking deathcore beatdown kind of shit.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Because your vocals are more kind of yelly than more growly.
Because I'm a shit vocalist.
I think it's pretty. I like your vocals. They're pretty unique.
Well, I appreciate that, man.
And your guitarist or bassist does vocals.
Yeah,
though.
Ryan.
Yeah. He's a nice dude.
He's a great dude.
Yeah.
He's one of my closest friends. Over the journey, I've really been pretty adamant about forcing him to do vocals. He's
different. They're cool because
contrast well.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. That's like our vocalist. Our vocalist Shannon. And his our other guitarist does vocals as well.
Yeah.
And they're both way different, but somehow they work together. Yeah. Really, it's really weird, but they're really completely different. Yeah,
it's really cool having like crossovers like that. And
shit it is.
When it works, it's a really cool dynamic when you see a band do that. Kind
of
stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So
So
when's that tour kick off? I should know all this shit, but
don't stress. Right? I'm fucking terrible with dates as myself. It is what's it now? February fucking. It's early February. A month from now it kicks off.
Yeah.
I think the first show is the 2nd of March.
Oh, cool, man.
2nd of March in Brisbane, all the way around to full run around to Perth in the space of just over a week, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, sick. Have you got anything else in the pipeline?
We got heaps in the pipeline.
You keep it under wraps.
Pretty much, like, the way we track these, the way we like our schedule is lined up these days, we're like sorted a year in advance, pretty much.
Oh, that's
constantly,
cool, man.
Yeah.
That's good.
So like that's going back to what I was saying before. This Within Destruction tour, it's been locked in for about 9 months now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so like we've been sitting on it this whole time. It's it's a frustrating thing to like know all this time that you've got it. You can't talk about.
Can't tell anyone because you're so amped about it.
It's actually worked out really well because, I mean, pulling back the curtains, we were obviously supposed to do this episode a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I wouldn't have even been able to talk about half this shit, so that worked out pretty well.
Yeah, that's kind of actually, it's funny how things work out like that.
We were both sick as fuck that day.
yeah, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me, but something.
I woke up and I was like, oh man, I'm not going to make it.
No stress, man. Shit happens.
Yeah.
But it's worked out for the better, so.
It's really exciting, man. It's fucking, I mean, that's kind of what I live for, man, at the moment, is being on the road. That's just,
that's cool, man.
That's what I want to do, man, is just be touring. Like,
we've only ever played in Perth on Bunbury, but we got something lined up in
I see you guys are going over there.
Yeah, nice. So that'll be cool.
That'll be fun as fuck, man.
I think we need to get out of Perth because we're spinning our wheels a bit.
You got to do it, man. You got to just do it yourself, man. There's so many bands that unfortunately kind of, I mean, not to throw anyone under the bus or anything, but there's so many bands that just expect it to be given to them.
Yeah.
And that's just such a shit mentality, in my opinion. If you're not making it happen for your fucking self, why would you expect someone to just give it to you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like we've been very adamant about this from the start, is just doing shit off our own back, and then everything else is going to fall into place, and that's exactly what's happened.
And it's better when you do it that way because you get
feel
more
like you've
satisfaction.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many bands at the moment that have been given labels and given their own platform just because they know people, which is do you really want to be the band that fucking blows up because they know someone on the label? You know, like that's such a fucking average way to achieve things.
And then you get on something big, and then people won't really know who you are.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
because they're like, where'd that band come from?
Unfortunately, the way the scene is, people tend to suck the dick of whatever the label promotes these days. You know what I mean? But,
that's probably everywhere though, eh?
Yeah, of course, it's going to happen no matter what.
Yeah.
And I don't want to appear too jaded or anything, but I mean, I think we really earned where we're at in the scene, and that's a great feeling, you know.
Yeah, I think you did too as well, because I remember, I think like a while ago, you played before us.
Oh, really?
Yeah. At Convenience, I think.
Yeah, cool.
You played before us or after?
I think we might. Yeah, I mean, we've always jumped on whatever.
Yeah, but you just seemed like you were just smashing shows out and working really hard.
You got to have that drive at the start. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
You got to start. You got to start just playing everything, and then you can start being a bit more selective about where you play. And
that's right.
Trying to take on bigger things and plan ahead, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly right.
You've really got to grind for a while, I feel like, and that's got to be the mentality.
I reckon the hardest thing for us anyway is like knowing what to do next or where to go next, because a lot of people I just found personally don't really want to share much, which I get. If you worked hard for it,
they certainly want to keep stuff close to the chest.
Yeah, maybe you're like, well, we had to figure it out, so you should figure it out. So I get that, but but there's not, because everything's changing so rapidly, there's not really like a one-size-fits-all method.
No, not
like
at
if a
all.
band goes, we did this, if you do that, you'll get big.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work like that.
No, really, you really do have to tap into your own success route, you know what I mean? Like, not to speak.
I think if you're authentic as well, if you're authentic,
correct.
you're authentic and you work hard and that, people can see authenticism, like fakeness. You know, when someone's fake or shallow, it's repulsive.
Yeah.
Whereas if someone's authentic,
it's immediately noticeable as well.
Like, and like you might not get immediate results being authentic, but the results you get are always going to be more rewarding.
And you're always going to have longevity out of being authentic as well. I think it's like actually really push home to the rest of the boys is like people that follow you. It's palpable when you are just genuine. Yeah, it's palpable when your band is what you show yourselves to be, you know what I mean? It's so easy to see through facades that bands put on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And those bands that do that kind of shit, you see it time and time again, they're only a band for a fucking year. Yeah. They just fall apart.
That's right,
It's just going to happen, you know what I mean? Whereas, I think it's pretty evident that we are just authentically ourselves and just do the stupid shit we want to do, you know? Luckily, in my instance, you know, Sedative is a group of... you know, two of my closest friends. Yeah. And like obviously we've picked up a few fellas on the journey that have become our great friends as well. It's just us having a great time doing what we want to do, and I think you can really say that. Like. And
that's the thing. It seems like if you like first and foremost you're just a bunch of guys that get along and you like making music, you're gonna last longer than if you're just all hanging out. Hey, let's start doing this and then we'll get big.
For sure.
Because then, when you don't get any results and you look on your Spotify and there's fuck all streams,
take the frustrations out on each other.
Almost will just quit.
Yeah. Luckily, Rafi, our guitarist, and Ryan, our bassist, we've been like even beyond Sedative. We've been in other bands together and shit. You know, like we are together because we want to be together, just regardless of what we're doing. You know.
Yeah.
I've been playing with Rafi for fucking like about 12 years at this point, man. Like 10, 12 years since like fucking early Winterfold days. Like time ago,
So how did Sedative start?
Sedative was pretty much we were in a previous band before Sedative called Grenade Brain, just a local fucking Perth band that we would similar vein to Sedative, just trying to be just stupid heavy and have fun with it, but that's how Rafi, Ryan and I joined forces pretty much. Rafi and I were in Grenade Brain for a little while. Ryan joined towards the end kind of thing. And we just kind of figured we needed a fresh start. Yeah. Decided to just scrap everything, start again, new name, new music, new image, just completely fucking start again, rebrand everything. And it just ultimately became one of the best decisions we ever made, you know? I think sometimes you just kind of need to cut your losses and fucking just start fresh, you know? Yeah,
for sure. Especially if you don't want to be associated with the previous music. If you want to do something new.
As well as like...
Because if you go, look, everyone got new music, people might have been, I've heard them before.
Yeah, people get entrenched in what they already know about you. And unfortunately, we had some previous members that gave us a bit of a bad name. We tried to move forward from things like that, but unfortunately, people are pretty quick to make their impressions about you, and they just kind of get stuck in those impressions. So sometimes the best thing you can do is just fucking move on and start again, man. So that's what we did, and I mean, luckily we've got a lot of experience in the kind of like heavy music scene and like what to do and what not to do, and I think that really benefited us when we started Sedative because we knew what we didn't want to do. If that makes sense. We knew how much
no clean vocals.
No fucking clean vocals here, my bro. We were very adamant about like we know how much money it takes. We know how much effort it takes, and like doing that from minute one when you start a band makes such a world of difference. You know what I mean? So many bands start up and they're you know, as you say, they are just a group of friends that want to make music and they're a bit slow to ramp up. And then unfortunately, because of the slow ramp up, as we discussed, people gather their first impression about a band, maybe at not the best stage of that band's existence. Yeah. So we kind of skipped all that. And like when Sedative started, we put out fucking every song had a hectic music video. Like every song was hectically produced, like shit that we'd sat on for a long time and like really put our fucking hearts into. And it was just like good shit from minute one.
Yeah.
I think that's just, I mean, it made a world of difference.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, it's definitely. I think you're right there because you can just the results are.
Well, so I know I get on a bit of a tangent talking about it. I do apologise, but it's something that really made the difference for us.
Yeah, it's good to emphasise it.
Yeah.
But so how'd you just come up with the name Sedative?
Yeah, I remember when we rebranded, I had like 1,000 different names, and so many of them got rejected. Like, I've always I'm pretty fucking I'm pretty much like the one that does like all the naming and all like lyrical content, obviously being the vocalist and shit. But like naming's always kind of been a part of that. And I wanted the stupidest names when we started. I wanted to call us like Eat Concrete. Just shit, just dumb, stupid shit like that. It just suits the heavy name. Yeah. And I don't know, Sedative was just like the only somewhat legitimate option that I got over the line, I guess, you know.
Yeah, it's a cool name.
Yeah, it's unfortunately, I'm actually a bit sick of the name, to be honest. Sedative is like there's so much in today's current music scene of like drugs and substance abuse. It's such a heavy thematic topic within heavy music. I don't know if you kind of notice that these days. It's and unfortunately, us being called Sedative, I feel like it's really like lumped in with that. I just resent that a little bit, you know.
At least it's not like something to do with like ocean or a road or something.
Yeah, I feel like it's on the way to being like that.
It's like a metalcore thing. You're going to be named after like a street name or a lane or some oceans.
Yeah, I can't believe bands still do that stuff and like don't realise how like on the nose they're being about it. You know?
Well, our name, we had heaps of different names.
Yeah.
Same thing, shitloads. We were just all chucking them in our group chat.
Yeah.
Because
didn't you used to be called something? I remember
Human Effigy.
Yeah,
that was with like Lindsay from RFMD and that.
I remember I used to work with Josh. Your bassist.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you know Josh. Yeah,
tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah. Well, so me, Josh, and Shannon, the singer, we kind of stuck together and just thought, we might as well start something else.
Yeah.
And then so we were just putting all names in the group chat. And then I was like, we just couldn't find anything, and everything cool was taken.
Yeah.
And we were getting so pissed off with it. And then I was just fuck, I'm going to go on one of them name generators online.
Yeah. Is that where it come from in the end? That's sick that I actually got a sick name out of it. Though.
Yeah, then it was like you could choose like the theme if you want like dark or like whatever, depressing and shit. And then you can put like phrases in or whatever. And then what genre?
Yeah.
And then I put like, all the shit for metal, like depressing, dark,
Yeah.
And then it went through and then I was like, it had Infinite Exile. And I was like, that's cool.
That's good, that's good gear from a name generator.
Yeah, I was like, that's cool because it's kind of explains like metal, metal's always exiled and like us, like I've never fit in. I always struggled to make mates and so I've always kind of been exiled, I guess.
Yeah.
And then Infinite, like we're forever exiled. We're never going to fit in.
Well, it's like it's perfectly on brand for like the kind of
so I was like, that's fucking. And then we were just talking about it. Well, man, that's kind of really fucking cool. We stumbled upon that.
That's sick as fuck. That's so fun, man.
So that's lucky. But otherwise, I don't know what the fuck it would have been called.
Man, like any name of anything, like song names, fucking. The way it works these days, I gotta like submit it all to the group chat and get approval from everyone.
The panel of judges.
Yeah, like I put like little polls in our group chat of like fucking which
votes,
which lyric I can use, and
submit it to the board members.
Pretty much, man. Like I've just got to like get everything over the line with all the lads. Like, I've had some stupid ideas in my time, so I think I kind of deserve that at this point. But
I reckon you have had some pretty cool shit. Like I like that Hell I Am. That's fucking cool.
Thanks.
I was like, man, why can't I ever fucking think of shit like that?
Bro, you should see my notes. It's just fucking pages.
Send them
pages.
to me. I'll steal some shit. All your reject shit. Yeah, man. Here's a couple cool ones for you.
All the stuff that they deny you can have.
We're like, that's the sickest shit. But so talking about Hell I Am, what's the go there?
Hell I Am, just a little 2-track, man.
So it's a single.
So Midnight Valentine we released last year.
Yeah, that was cool, man.
That was a sick song. Like I'm very happy with that song. Hell I Am was just kind of not to gloss over or anything. It was kind of just like the the interim between records, I guess, if that makes sense. Like we didn't.
Also, you've got other stuff in the works.
Oh yeah, we have, bro. We're already tracking for the stuff beyond stuff that's not released yet.
Who writes all the music?
So it's a combination effort. It's majority of the instrumentally speaking comes from Rafi and Ryan.
So they just catch up, or they just at home record a few riffs and send them.
It's quite funny, really. You can if you know. If you know us well enough, you can really tell who wrote what song.
Oh, okay.
Because like Rafi and Ryan, they're like, obviously it's still Sedative shit at the end of the day, but you like there's different sides of Sedative. I feel like you can really tell.
Yeah.
And so like they'll just like write, the skeleton of a song, punch it through, and everyone will have their way with it and add on like their own bits, and then obviously at the final stages, I'll do lyrics for everything. But yeah, pretty much that's how our writing works. Is just Rafi and Ryan will like we pretty much give ourselves deadlines for when we want songs done by.
Yeah, okay.
And we always want more songs than we're planning to record, so we can cut the shit. If that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
When we recorded Hell I Am, we were recording 2 songs, but we wrote 4 songs.
Yeah,
like, and just fuck.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's
you want to get your best out there, not just what you have. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, that's I'm kind of the same mentality as you because I write all of our stuff.
Yeah,
musically, probably 98% of it.
Right.
And I always send it to the guys, and then they'll be stoked on something, and then they were like, "Oh, whatever happened to that other song?" And I'm like, "Ah, no, I'll rip some riffs out of that and put in something else." Like, that was a sick song. I'm like,
yeah, it's never.
Yeah, I was like,
it's never finished, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, the standards are going to be higher than what you think it's going to be.
That's a good way to be, man. That's how you get the best results, man. Just be hypercritical of shit and just if you're not 100% happy with it, fuck it off, man.
And I'll listen to it like fucking flat out in the car on the way to work, and I'll listen to it on my earphones at work, and then driving back. I'll listen to it like 500 fucking times.
That's the exact same as me.
And if it's something I'm iffy about, I'm just like, nah.
Yeah, we got pre-prod stuff that we like just fucking...
I want to be stoked on it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, we've just done pre-prod for like the next stuff that we're tracking at the moment, and like that's just all I listen to, just fine-tuning it, like constantly trying to make things better and shit.
That's good,
and
man.
I'm fucking stoked on it. It's awesome stuff that we got coming. I'm so excited for it.
Well, yeah, you even got a little snippet here, don't you?
Yeah, well, that's the previous release, obviously, but no, fucking Hell I Am, man. It was just, as I said, just a little 2-track, man, just to kind of fill the space while we do everything else. Which is, don't get me wrong, the songs are still fantastic. It's not like we're putting out a lesser product. It's just like as a release, it's a smaller release. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in between records, like obviously a record is like a large process, like.
How many songs do you think you're going to be on there?
The next record?
Yeah.
Probably 8 or 9.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
So 2 on this, and these songs going to be on that as well?
No, these are, Hell I Am's its own separate, just little 2-track EP kind of thing. And then, start rolling everything out for the next release.
Because we've had a few releases then, lots of separate releases, haven't you?
Yeah. So we did like a few singles when we first started out, just
I think that's the way now because people...
Singles are the way to go for sure.
People, they're short attention spans and you just want to...
No one gives a fuck about a record.
It's hard to get people, especially when you're trying to make a name and build a fan base. I think, not that I know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I would think that if you release like 10 tracks, no one's going to listen, sit down and listen to it unless you've got a dedicated fan base.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
You need to have...
So pump it all out,
pump.
Pump some shit out and get people like
Even when you do have a fan base, I think singles are still the way to go. Like they're just the
especially
best.
Especially now.
It's just the easy way to deliver music. You know what I mean? Like on a consistent basis, just putting singles out and like records are cool if you're a musician. I find if you're a fan. Records are less cool.
I still listen to them. I prefer it personally.
I myself do. I have a lot more respect, like seeing a record. But I think in the way that the medium of music works now, having singles, just churning singles out is just the way to do stuff. Unfortunately,
it's changed.
But it's like it's so much cooler having a record and a single. Having thematic fucking things from a record and like being able to take in and consume a record as a whole.
And have songs in order.
Exactly. Then, so much more. It's so much a more whole experience than just fucking a random single every 3 months. Like
100%. Because if you think of some of your favourite records, imagine if they were just on a random playlist.
Or
singles. Some of them, like you're used to listening to that song that goes in the next song and the next song. Imagine listening to that the other way around. It just wouldn't work.
You'd probably miss out on so many wonderful fucking like tracks, you know what I'm saying? Just like having records not be records. Like,
yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah. But I know I've given you a little sample. This fucking Heavy Lies Ahead.
So that's coming. When's that?
That comes out this Friday.
Yeah, right.
So,
should we,
fucking bang her in, bro.
Yeah, that's fucking cool, man.
Just a quick little 20 seconds or so there, was it?
It's fucking heavy. I love the mix on that.
Yeah, we
Who did that?
We've got a wonderful little arrangement we found. So the mix comes from Tom Cadden, previously of To the Grave.
I'm not familiar.
He's in Body Prison now.
Okay.
Over east they're from. He's kind of like, he's definitely not a secret, but he's kind of like, we feel like he's like our little hidden gem. You know what I mean? Like,
it's cool, man.
He's starting to do a lot more work these days, but for a time there, he was keeping it pretty quiet and only really doing stuff for like his bands and like us and a couple of other little projects. But he's like obviously ramping up, trying to take it a bit more seriously now.
Yeah.
But his mixes are fucking awesome, man.
I love the drum sound on that. It's fucking heavy.
Yeah, he really like. He's got his own like defined little sound, you know, which I think is it's almost like everyone's aware of Lance Prank.
I'm not.
Oh, okay. Eating my words right now.
Man, I'll live under a bit of a rock.
He's the one that like he does Alpha Wolf's records.
Oh wait, how do you spell his last name?
P-R-E-N-C.
Oh yeah, I have heard him. Yeah,
he's very big Australian.
I know who you're talking about now. Yeah.
And he's kind of done like he's like the default for most bands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they'll record a song and get him to mix and master it.
That's like Forrest Isabel, heaps of prog bands were using him, weren't they?
Yeah, okay.
At one point.
I'm not sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it sounds like the same kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, you can tell whatever he's done, he's got a very distinct sound.
Yeah.
If you hear a record, you can tell straight away that Prank mixed it, you know what I mean? And I think Tom's kind of like a miniature version of
that. That's cool because
really
it's just another way of looking at that. Is they're not just some guy just sitting in there mixing shit, but they're actually kind of like another artist.
They give like they give their own elements.
It's just
to
like
it,
if you lend your voice to anything, or Rafi plays guitar on something, it's going to sound like him playing. It's going to sound like
flavor.
I think that's cool.
It's really cool. It gives a little extra fucking extra taste and shit. The stuff is awesome, man. Like,
well, where do you record?
So we've always been we've tried a lot of places just because we don't want to be the same as everyone else. Like just talking about Prank right now, we've been pretty adamant about not recording with Prank because we don't, like, as I said, with that same distinct sound that you can hear it straight away. We don't want to put out a track and it be obvious that it's Prank. You know what I mean? So we've tried to experiment a lot. Everything we've put out has pretty much been through a different method. The singles we put out in the early days, they were 3 entirely different producers and mix and masters. The record we produced with Audax. I'm not sure if you're familiar in Perth. He's Ryan Botha. He's really, really fantastic for us to work with. He doesn't really do a lot of heavy stuff, but he does more of the like post-hardcore kind of emo shit. But he's been fucking awesome to work with for us. That's why we've continued to work with him.
So he's got a studio somewhere?
He's got a studio just locally in Coburn, man.
That's cool.
So we did the record with him. We did Death Romantic with him and mix and master with Tom. Hell I Am, we just recently did that, just experimenting again. As I say, we constantly just looking at like different ways to do stuff. We went to Sean from Reformed.
Yep.
Just fucking tracked it.
He's a good cunt.
He's a good cunt. I love that guy. He's a mad dog. Yeah, we just tracked just did the tracking at his house, the production, and mix and master through Tom again. So you just send it to him remotely, obviously. He sends you a few mixes back and stuff. And we're pretty involved in the mix master process because we obviously have a lot of particular things that we're trying to do in our mix and masters, and he's obviously the most receptive to that. That's why we've continued to work with him since Death Romantic.
Yeah.
And like we're very. I won't go into too much detail, but there's a lot of things that we're very adamant about having in our mix and masters. So like we kind of get pretty involved when he's doing his mix and masters on our work. So yeah,
I suppose if you got a vision.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I know a lot of people, a lot of mix and masters. You fucking send it off to them, and they'll be like, "You've got 2 edits, and that's it." You know, so like we wouldn't be able to work with that. We have too many things that we want.
Yeah, do you have any backing tracks or?
We do, yeah, and that's obviously a part of it as well.
Is that like heaps of bass drops and stuff?
No, mostly bass drops. We have a lot. We use a lot of samples just because that's just part of Sedative, like just dumb samples and shit.
Like voice samples and stuff.
Yeah, just like sound bites and things like that. We've just always been pretty fucking a big proponent of using samples in our songs, just because it's fun and it's fucking funny doing stupid shit like that. Samples, a lot of FX channels and things like that. We try to avoid sampling instruments because I think that's so many bands these days do, and I think that's a bit ordinary. Yeah, so obviously there's instances that you have to. And it does overall give you a bigger sound, but we try to avoid it where we can. You know what I mean?
It'd be weird if you had the solo, like a guitar solo on the backing track, and you just play the rhythm.
So often you watch a band and they do, like, and it's so disappointing.
I reckon you should be playing the hardest bit.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. It's so disappointing when you watch a band and like if you're a musician, you can tell, and that's the things that you watch when you're watching a band. I've watched so many bands where they'll fucking sample vocals, and it's like, why be a band? What's the point of being a band?
I get it probably ultimately doesn't matter because 90% of the audience ain't going to give a fuck or notice, but the people it's lame.
It's lame
kind of, I guess.
Man. Yeah. I mean, you know, lo-fi vocals and things like that where you have to, fair enough. Like we do that. We sample like FX vocals and shit like that. But like I've seen bands that sample their actual vocals and the cunt is just like harmonizing essentially, like
well, Bring Me the Horizon does that a bit, I think, or they did at one point, didn't they?
I think if you're that level, you can kind of do what the fuck you want. If you're a local band, like playing Australian shows, like you need to fucking put some effort in. Kind of, you know?
Do you use in-ears?
We've only just started recently, actually.
Because we were thinking about that. Fuck, it's not cheap though, is it?
It's not cheap at all, man. It's
like 8 grand, 10 grand.
It's like it's a big step as a band to take in-ears on, but it really does elevate you.
I'm keen.
It's like you wouldn't think it would make that much of a difference. I mean, like our drummers always played with a click.
Yeah,
it's just fucking pretty standard in music these days. But you wouldn't think having the whole band on a click would make that much of a difference, but fuck, it does, man. It's insane to me.
So much tighter,
and it also gives you the freedom to like plan your set out a bit more, you know what I mean? Because you're all on the same fucking click.
Not only that, you're not just relying on the sound and giving you the right mix and the fold back. Because sometimes, I don't know, maybe I'm just shit at a guitar, but sometimes you hear like you can't really hear yourself, and then I don't really know if I'm playing.
Like, well, that's understandable. I'm like that with vocals.
And then I just don't enjoy it. I want to fucking hear my shit so I can rock out. And if I can't hear it, I'll get so fucking devo. I just can't get into it.
I know what you mean. I'm like that with vocals. I can't.
I just feel like you're miming. Then,
I have to like have like one ear off when I'm tracking or playing and stuff, because like, if I can't hear myself, I can't fucking do vocals, man. You're like trying to compete with not hearing yourself.
Be like a deaf person.
It just fucking throws me off so hard. I've never been able to do it.
So do you know what kind of stuff did you get for the in-ears? Like,
I can't tell you, man. I'm just a fucking dumb cunt vocalist, bro.
So they're just like, this is how much it's going to cost. You just front the money up.
Do what I'm fucking told, man. Whatever Rafi tells me to do, just fucking yes, boss.
I need to definitely. I'll have to get him on here sometime. Pick his brains.
Yeah, he'd be a good chat. It's a very different chat to me because he's a very professional man.
Yeah, okay.
Like fucking, I'm the dumb cunt of the band, and he's the rock that holds us together. Yeah. So like obviously, Rafi does like a lot of our managing and shit like that. So yeah, you'd get a very different conversation from Rafi as opposed to me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
definitely keen on it. I was thinking about that before.
Yeah,
getting one of the guys on just to pick their brains about the instrument side
of
stuff.
Yeah. They probably have a lot more to offer than I would.
I like your drummer too. He's a fucking good drummer.
Yeah, nice.
Was it Nathan? Is that his name?
Yeah, Nathan. Yeah.
Yeah, he's I love his drumming on. There's a song on that Death Romantic. It's like a fast one. It's like a real up tempo one. Is it the last song? maybe.
Lothario.
It's got like a fast beat. I can't remember what it's called.
Probably be Remilda Vein. It's probably the fastest song we got on
Might be. Oh, no, there's this drum beat. I fucking love it.
Yeah, nice.
It's fucking cool, man. Love his drumming.
I'm sure he'll love hearing that when he listens back to this.
I think I might have tagged him in something or said something about it, and I was like, "Fuck, this is fucking cool."
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, but
he'll eat that up.
I dig it.
Yeah, fucking. So it's pretty exciting times for us at the moment, man.
Yeah.
It's just like it's all fucking, all cylinders firing. You know what I mean? Like, just
it's good.
We are endlessly tracking, endlessly fucking playing shows and touring, and it's just kind of fuck, it's what you want as a band, really.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like,
so what about with you? Obviously, you got to juggle that with your work and all that.
Yeah, so I mean, as I was discussing with you before, I used to work away, so that was pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Well, it had its pros and cons, to be honest. It was actually like quite easy.
You had heaps of blocks of time where you can.
We used to plan touring around when I was home, so I didn't even have to take time off for it. So it was actually good in that sense. But obviously, being away half the fucking time trying to write. And
I'd hate that.
Doing all the day-to-day stuff, you know, that was always the hard part. Is trying to manage a band from a mine site. It was like fucking difficult.
Especially if you got ideas too. Like I remember when I'd work away and had like song ideas. Yeah. I just hated being like, I'll be home in 10 days.
Yeah.
So then I'll track that. And
I remember
just like,
peak times when I was working away, we were tracking Death Romantic, and the way that our process worked while we were tracking and writing and shit is like so many. The songs fucking changed so often.
Yeah, okay.
Like just it was constantly moving. Things would change in the songs while we were in the studio, and so like I'd have vocal tracking booked in for when I'd be home from work, and I'd be up at work and the fucking songs would completely have changed, and I've got to fucking like write lyrics to these fucking on a mine site, like just with no fucking free time.
Yeah.
Trying to like knowing that the day I get home I've got to track this song that I haven't even fucking written yet. That was a fucking nightmare, man.
Do you ever do vocals into your notes on your phone, like into the voice
here and there? I do, yeah. Mainly like I just like talk structure more than anything, like just like mouth the structure into my phone and shit like that.
So that slam poetry or whatever.
Pretty much comes off like that, yeah. I have a very weird process for writing lyrics. I feel
as long as it works.
I kind of I know a lot of people write like songs, like they'll write a whole song of lyrics. Whereas I just write fucking heaps of pieces of lyrics more than anything.
You just pick out stuff you want, make it work.
Or I'll like we'll get a song and we'll get like fucking the structure done for the song, and then I'll put one of those pieces in a poignant section and then like write around that kind of thing. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Very weird process, I find. I don't think that's a very normal way to write lyrics. I think most people just write a song and then like conform it to the song.
Yeah, I don't know how to write lyrics really. Like I've written stuff, but I don't have a method.
Yeah, I wanted to be like I played drums for like 15 years before I started doing vocals. Yeah,
right.
That was like what I did most of my like musical career is playing drums.
Oh, really?
I only started doing vocals about 5 years ago.
How'd you know you could do vocals?
So most of the time I was playing drums, I was doing vocals as well. Like doing like backup vocals and shit like that. And I used to like rap in a couple of bands, like while I was playing drums and shit like that. And I can't remember who it was. Someone one day was just like, it's really quite an arrogant thing to say, but someone one day was just like, you should do vocals like full time. That was fucking sick after some show that we played. And I just like was like, that would be sick. I would love to do that. Yeah, okay. And just started a little side project with one of my friends. It's Josh from Pincer.
Oh, yeah, Josh Ang.
Yeah, Josh Ang. Him and I started we were in another band together at the time, and him and I just started a little side project that I was doing vocals for, and it just kind of evolved from there.
I'm going to get him on here as well.
Yeah, he'd be a good chat. He's got a lot of stuff to talk about. So that was early days of me doing vocals, and I just kind of...
Even when you started doing them, how did you... Because obviously heavy vocals, there's a bit of a like a technique to it. Yeah, you know, because... When I try, because I really want to be able to do backing vocals, heavy stuff, and I either go really hoarse after and can't talk, or I just cough my ass up. Obviously, my technique's terrible. I've looked up so much YouTube shit, and I just fucking can't get it.
I find you just got to do it incessantly, because like, of course, there's techniques and there's like methods to do it better, but I think it really is quite subjective. I found that for myself at least. I think my vocal style has changed quite a lot since I've been doing vocals, and I've gone through so many different stages of like what you're saying. Like I used to do vocals, and like I could only do vocals for fucking an hour before my voice would just be obliterated. You know,
10 seconds, and I'm like,
yeah. But like as I've done it longer and longer, I've kind of evolved into a certain technique and a certain preamble before doing vocals and shit like that. I think I do heaps of that shit, bro. It sounds dumb, but it really helps. Like it was actually Fit for an Autopsy. We fucking played with them, and we were in the green room hanging out with them, and their vocalist fucked off, and I could hear from the other room this cunt just going, "Oh yeah," and I was like, "Who the fuck is this cunt? Like, who's this in the other room just going, oh yeah?" And like, he just started going on more and more, and that's like his vocal warm up.
Yeah, right.
He like starts out just like really bringing his voice together, and then starts like ramping up and screaming and more and more. And
yeah,
fuck,
right.
I've been doing it ever since. It's actually hectic.
I remember
actually hell warms up fucking well for you, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it's a pretty important thing. Or drinking tea with honey or something, eh? And
yeah, I've done that here and there, but I haven't found that's really worked for me too much, to be honest. I lost my voice the last tour we were on. And,
did you?
I was drinking like tea and fucking honey and shit like that, trying to bring it back.
Didn't help? Or?
No, it did fuck all for me. So like that first, like when we were on tour in May last year, that was when I was working away. And so our first show was in Brisbane on like the Friday night, and I flew in from work on the Thursday night. We straight away went to the airport to fly to Queensland. You know what it's like working away. I hadn't slept like in 24 hours at this fucking point. And then by the time we played the show, I'd been awake for about 48 hours, no sleep.
Fuck that.
Played that set, and I was just fucked for the rest of the tour. It just like took it out of me being that tired, playing that set, lost my voice. Like every night was me trying to nurse my voice back to get back to health for the next show.
Yeah, okay.
And then just blowing it out again because it was just like a vicious circle having a fucked voice.
That was a nightmare. Do you have many dramas with your voice then?
No, it's pretty good these days.
Yeah.
It's all about what you do before, man. I find
because some people don't talk much, eh?
I've been through stages of that. I think it's really if you warm up correctly. I think that makes such a fucking difference for you, man. And that was one thing I never used to do. I used to just fucking raw dog it and go out and play a set without even warming up. But nowadays, like, you'll see Ryan, my bassist, and I will go out to the car and do fucking warm-ups in the car for like 20 minutes. Like, before
what the fuck are these two cunts doing here?
It's been so annoying sometimes because we'll go out to, like, we'll play these weird venues and there's like half of a fucking car park and you can't really like hide away from anyone, and we're just sitting in the car fucking screaming, like warming up and shit.
That's funny,
Probably the most cringe shit to fucking encounter ever, but it's like, it's important, man. It makes such a big difference, eh? It's saved my voice so many times.
They smoking meth in there.
Yeah, it's fucking sitting in the car screaming. But fuck, that was tragic on that tour. Like my voice held out all right for most of those shows, but it was pretty fucking troubling at times. I was trying a lot of different things.
I can't think of anything worse than that. Like if you blew out and you, especially like the first song, and then you literally can do the rest of the set. It's like, what would you do?
It was before the fucking first song.
What would you? If you were unable, what would you? I suppose you'd have to like cancel or
just
something.
Push through, man. That's been my mentality.
Yeah.
When my voice was at worse on that tour, I just fucking still hooked in and tried to do the best I could, you know. Fuck, I wouldn't be able to cancel for something like that. I'd play with no voice before I fucking cancel. You know?
Just do the slam poetry version of lyrics.
Legit.
And then I wrote.
The reason I went into all that tangent there was when I first started doing vocals, that was something you don't think about, hey, when you of like writing songs. It's like something you don't think about until you have to think about it. And holy fuck, that is a difficult and daunting process to try and lyrically write songs to music. That's something I found was very. It's just something.
What do you mean the melody of it?
Well, just structuring lyrics to, like, I suppose it's probably.
Do you do it to the drums or do you?
No, it's something that actually Sean mentioned, how offbeat everything I write is. I couldn't tell you what I fucking write lyrics to, honestly.
Okay.
It's just I don't know. It's just I think I have a very strange approach to writing lyrics.
Yeah, okay.
And I think that kind of comes across in our music. It's not necessarily what's the word for it? It's not necessarily like fundamentally the way you would write lyrics.
Yeah, okay,
It's very much like
there's not like a one size fits all. Anyways,
I would say it's almost like a haphazard approach to writing lyrics because I kind of just like feel it out how I feel it. You know what I mean?
At least then it's not it's not like predictable.
Yeah, and that's
it's not
why
like here's the chorus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was trying to say there is I think if you're writing like pop music, it's probably not that bad because it's pretty fucking structural and it's pretty easy to stick to that structure. But writing lyrics to heavy music where the structure is so sporadic and unpredictable, it's such a there's no fucking method to it. You know what I mean? Necessarily, like you can write, as we were discussing before, you can write a whole song of lyrics and then put it over a fucking heavy song. And the song makes no sense structurally. So it's like, how do you piece that to it?
Because some verse lines will have syllables and they'll go with it. And then the next line will have syllables. So they have to follow like a pattern. It has to have a pattern. Otherwise you have to take, at the end, it might not line up. You go, I've got to take some words out now. Now it's not really what I fucking wanted. And
and you really, that really becomes a convoluted task in heavy music, man. That was just something I fucking found over the journey was really.
Do you have a bit of a method now?
I do these days. I really I tend to go through versions of songs countless times before I get the final product. So like, you know, these songs that we're tracking at the moment, for the stuff that'll come out after Hell I Am, I think there's probably been about 15 different versions of lyrics for like each song, just because like I'll write one and then I'll change fucking most of it and then I'll fucking change most of it again and then like it'll just be like tiny little pieces that remain from each version and then finally you'll get the full version. I think that's just like it's a very backwards way to write lyrics, I think.
I'll do the same with riffs. Like sometimes when I've had some guests here, I'll show them stuff I've been working on. And because it's only demos, I've like chopped the riff up into like 20 bits because sometimes I move shit around and I get so self-conscious because I'm like, these cunts must look at all these edits here and think I just can't play a riff. I must be so shit at guitar. And I always get to like kind of give him like a, what's it called, a disclaimer, like I had to chop this up. Don't worry.
Before you play, you got to give them the whole rundown.
I just had to chop it up and move it around. I always have to do a disclaimer because I'm like, because it looks like I suck.
I get that. I'm always like, I'm a bit like that in fairness when I send the lyrics through to the fucking group chats because I
put a disclaimer.
I know I write about some pretty fucking some pretty bleak and heavy shit.
What was your themes mostly like?
Just to be completely upfront, like a lot of like. It's pretty heavy on like suicide and fucking despondent, like heartbroken shit. Like, like very heavily fucking. I know it's such a typical fucking thing to say, but like miserable fucking shit. You know what I mean? Like that's just unfortunately that's the well that I'm drawing from.
But it's like, well, what else is there really? There's either love or politics.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people these days write about fucking religion and fucking drugs and just like that bores the fuck out of me. To be honest, like, I write about my own experiences. You know, like that's like unfortunately that's all I can write about. No matter how hard I try not to, that's like what I get pulled back into every time.
Yeah, but people probably it suits the mood of the music though. Like it's pretty congruent with
that's cool to hear.
The sound. I think anyway. So it's kind of like it would be weird if you were singing about like love, like a love song.
Well, I mean, it kind of is in a sense, just maybe not the positive side of love.
I mean, like Katy Perry shit.
Yeah. I've always found it interesting, to be honest, because I thought when we first started this band, I thought that was going to be quite jarring, like because the music we write is like the heaviest fucking shit on the planet, and then like lyrically, it's like fucking heartbreak and like all this miserable shit. I thought that was going to be really jarring. And like so many people along the journey have been like, fuck yeah, this music's so tough and shit. And I was like, have you actually read the lyrics? It's not tough at all, bro. It's fucking miserable.
It's cool, man. I like it.
I think it's a cool contrast.
It's emotional. It's emotion. You get to capture the emotion.
Not to be fucking, self-serving or anything, but it really is.
I think instrumentally as well, like your songs are like depressing. I'm not saying that in a bad way. I mean, like what you're saying sounds like what you're saying there. And what the guitars are playing, it's like he's conveying like misery with his guitar because it sounds so fucking like heavy, and you're like, fuck, that's pulling me down. And then your vocals as well, and it's like kind of they're and both combined. It's like,
really
fuck.
Cool to hear. It's been really amazing hearing people like writing shit and having people relate to what you write is such an amazing fucking feeling. I never expected it. I've had people literally say to me like some of the shit I've written is like changed their saved them in a sense. Man. You know what I mean? I had a couple of people.
I'm big on lyrics, man.
Yeah, for me as well, man. Lyrics is like if I like a song and the lyrics are poor, that really tarnishes it.
I'm exactly the same as that. I've got to like feel what they're saying, and this brings me to something else. Sorry to cut you off there.
No.
Is I just wanted to say before I forget is that of me and Shannon, our vocalist, I've always said to him, and he agrees with me, is like you hear them bands that like. They'll scream shit, and it's like they're just doing a scream that they were trained to do.
Yeah.
They don't actually sound angry.
There's no feeling behind it, yeah.
And I'm always like, I know this is so fucking cliche to say, but I always thought the best vocalist for that was like Phil Anselmo. Who's that from Pantera.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, are you familiar with much Pantera?
Not super well, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
They're like that kind of metal I've never really never super gotten into, to be honest.
Well, they had this one album called the Great Southern Trendkill, and they tuned down for that, and everything was super abrasive, and it's so fucking bleak, and he just sounds fucking pissed off on it, and
the vocal tune changes to match
and it's
that,
like, man, you get chills. I'm getting chills thinking about it because when he's singing stuff on there, and one of them is pissed off at the media because Pantera, like, I feel like, obviously you're not that familiar with him, but he's always been in the media, always getting ragged on by the media for he does dumb shit, but always getting picked on. And he's super pissed off, and it's just like, fuck, man, this can't sound so fucking angry.
That's what it's supposed to be about, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be a medium for
that's what I love. But when people just like do a trained scream,
it's almost robotic in a sense.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm not really feeling it, man. I've got to, if I want to get into music, I have to kind of feel what they're getting across.
Absolutely. I think that's what music is supposed to be, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like if you're not relating to what is being conveyed musically, then what is the fucking point of music? You know what I mean? Music is supposed to be a medium for you to release, in a sense.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And I know, speaking for fucking Sedative, that's like a huge part of what Sedative is.
Yeah, but that's then the authenticity again, isn't it?
Well, I guess so. Really does bring it back to that. Sedative to me is like, honestly, like, I know this is one of the most cliche things you could possibly ever say, but Sedative lyrically it's fucking, I hate saying it's like my diary because what a fucking cringe thing to say, but it really is. Like, every fucking song in Sedative is about shit that I've been through, you know?
Yeah.
And it's fucking miserable if you really like read about like all these fucking songs I've written, but it's like such a cathartic way to deal with those fucking things that I've been through. You know?
I think it suits it, and that's good because nothing's more disappointing than, like, say, Rage Against the Machine. They wrote that they were always political, but now they're like they're not against politics. They're kind of like with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's like, and heaps of people were going, you were singing in the 90s about like fuck the system, and now you're part of the system, and it's kind of like lame because that's not really what you're saying when you're singing them songs live.
Disingenuous.
That's why it's fucking really disingenuous.
Yeah.
At least yours isn't.
That's cool to hear. That's definitely like what we're striving to do, is just be our authentic selves, man. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Write fucking miserable music that people can take and hopefully get something out of. You know. It's nice to know. Just knowing someone relates to what you're saying it's a good feeling, you know. People
definitely.
Nice to know that you're not the only miserable cunt out there, I guess. You know what I mean?
Especially these days, there's a lot to be miserable about, I guess.
That's right.
For some people.
Yeah. No, but it's been a fun process, man. Really learning to. I think these days I'm pretty happy with what I write these days. Happy is probably not the right word. I'm fucking pleased with how I write what I write these days, as opposed to how I fucking used to be. I remember it used to be such a difficult struggle of a process to write lyrics to songs. And like, I'd have these awesome instrumentals that like the boys have written, and I'd just like sit there and harbour over it for a long time. Then you
could beat yourself up about it.
Not necessarily in Sedative, but in like previous bands that I was in when I just started doing vocals, you know. But I think by Sedative I'd really gotten my wraps around it, fortunately.
That's good.
Yeah. So it's been fucking, these days it's exciting, man. I actually look forward to being in the studio these days. Being in the studio before, I fucking used to hate it because I'd just be so stressed and fucking still kind of think I was a bit of it. Like, I definitely don't think I'm the best vocalist. And that's something I've always kind of struggled with because I've just done vocals because I want to do vocals, not because I fucking necessarily should. You know what I'm saying?
At the same time, I think it's probably a good thing to not be 100% where you want to be because you're never going to strive to be better.
Yeah.
You're just going to be happy with like, not saying you're mediocre, but mediocrity, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it inspires, feeling that way inspires you to always be pushing to be
That's
better.
Right, because you think about it, if you've got a big ego about yourself and you think you're great, how can you ever improve? If you're perfect, you can't improve upon perfection.
There's a lot of egos within vocalists, which is...
you're probably going to have a bit of an ego to get on stage and scream at people.
Don't forget me wrong, I'm definitely a narcissistic cunt as a vocalist, but like vocally speaking alone, I'm a
You could have a healthy amount of it though, you know?
yeah. But I mean, I have stupid issues. Like I'm fucking heavily asthmatic.
Yeah, right.
And that's always been like a huge fucking...
Before a breakdown, you're not...
Well, man, I struggle so much on stage, and I think if you know that about me, you can really tell. It's like me trying to fucking breathe and hold notes on stage while I'm doing vocals. Man, some days you just have a real bad asthma day, you know?
Yeah, shit.
And fucking you feel it when you're trying to do vocals.
Do you do heaps of cardio and stuff to get your lungs?
I mean, I train a lot, so that's
I see you do heaps of weights.
Yeah, that's obviously helped a lot over the years.
What about like cardio stuff as well? Do you have to do that?
Definitely not.
Yeah, but isn't that for your lungs?
Cardio for bitches, bro.
I just bought an exercise bike too. They're one of them recumbent ones.
Not for me, mate.
It's where it's got like a seat so you can sit back.
Oh, yeah.
And first thing I did, as soon as I assembled it, I put it in the lounge room in front of the TV.
Yeah, that's good.
Turned on Goldeneye. Did 12 Ks in 30 minutes. Playing Goldeneye.
That's actually good fun.
Yeah, I was
better than just sitting on the fucking.
I said to the missus, I said, you'll never see me at the gym because I don't go to the gym. Yeah, it's pretty evident. But
for some people,
just cardio because I've got a medical history. I should be doing cardio.
Right.
It was really important that I do, and I've got a sedentary job, sitting in a crane for 12 hours.
I mean, it's important to do that if you.
And then sit in the car, then sit on the couch, and it's bad for my health. So I was like, I really have to start doing some cardio. But I'm like, fuck, it bores the shit out of me.
Yep.
Whenever I've been on an exercise bike and all that, and then
if you're doing that and nothing else, it's like the most fucking insane boredom you can fucking possibly go through. Yeah.
So I went to a physio recently because I had a shoulder injury from work, and then and then he was going, you got to get on this exercise bike for half an hour. I was like, fuck. And then I sat on it, but it was one of the ones where it's called recumbent, where you can sit on it it's like this chair, but with pedals on the cut and some handles. Yeah, okay. And I was like, man, so I can game while I do this.
Yeah.
I'm buying one, so I fucking bought one online, and then I just assembled it the other night, and first thing I did was chuck it in front of the TV, and I'm like, I'm not going to exercise, because if I have to sit there and hold onto the handles and stare at the fucking wall, I'm not going to do it.
Even with music or something like that, it's still fucking boring.
It's just fucking boring, man. I need to be. I got that attention span. I need constant stimulation. Otherwise, I'll fucking lose my shit. You know.
Yeah. I fucking fully understand that. Yeah. So I
was going to ask you as well. What music do you listen to, or what did you? What kind of crafted your musical?
Man, so it's always fucked when I get asked this question because I feel like I'm betraying my own band because I don't really listen to heavy music anymore, to be honest. I
listen to country and western sometimes.
Fucking hey, bro. I fucking feel that.
Charlie Pride.
Because I grew up I've been in bands since I was 15, you know, like a long time now. And I've been in heavy bands most of that time. So I've kind of just like always been drowned in heavy music, and it kind of just like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still like bands, and when something stands out to me, I fucking certainly love that. But like as a generality, I really don't take in a lot of heavy music these days.
Yeah,
I really draw my inspiration from most of what I listen to is like just strange old shit, to be honest. Like a lot of my inspiration comes from like Prince, Sade, Marvin Gaye, artists like that, you know what I mean? Like really soulful kind of shit is what I mean, that's where I take a lot of like my inspiration from.
Yeah, right.
It's pretty hard to translate that into a band like Sedative.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't, or I don't see the correlation.
Yeah, no, I mean, you wouldn't think it does, but it really does. Yeah. It gives you different approaches to, vocally speaking, at least, you know what I mean? And that's something we discussed earlier. Obviously, I don't like being formulaic necessarily in how you do vocals, and I think listening to shit that isn't heavy music benefits quite well in that sense. It stops you doing the standard way of what you would generally do in a song. You know what I mean? Like, I think listening to weird shit like that really helps. I grew up on a lot of like post-hardcore shit, like Dance Gavin Dance from First to Last. That's kind of where
Johnny Craig's singer.
He was at one point.
Fuck, he's a good singer.
Fucking excellent singer.
Fucking awesome. He was in Amarosa as well.
He was, correct. Yeah. He's been in like a few other bands here and there. He does a lot of solo stuff as well.
Fucking awesome singer, that guy.
For real. That was like my kind of entrance in high school kind of thing to heavy music, and just obviously evolved more and more. I've always had pretty heavy roots in like hardcore and shit.
Yeah.
And
so like Hatebreed, do you like Hatebreed?
Not so much Hatebreed.
They're kind of like an entry level for hardcore,
like Miles Away, Carpathian kind of hardcore.
Okay.
You know?
I'm not too familiar with hardcore stuff.
Australian bands, they're like very very like hardcore as opposed to like the heavier side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Is that like is that kind of hardcore? Is that kind of like punk?
Yeah, more rooted in punk, I would say. Yeah. I mean, like less like breakdowny, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like more just like straight up hardcore.
Okay.
Well, not so much for Carpathian there, but like Miles Away especially is very much like a punky hardcore band.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, I just, as time's going on, I mean, especially when I say you're so overexposed to being in heavy music, what that turned into for me was wanting to be the dumbest, heaviest thing you could possibly be, and that's why like Sedative has evolved the way that it has. You know, that's been like our biggest goal, is like we just want to be the stupidest.
What's heavy to you? What's your
like another band?
No, yeah, okay, another band.
It's a great question. A band that I would consider heavy is like that is a hard question to be put in the spot for, that I actually consider like heavy. No Face, No Case is probably not the heaviest band, but they're on the right vein, as in they're just dumb and stupid and fun. Like that is a good example of that side of the coin.
What makes something heavy for you when you listen to something? What is it?
I mean, the obvious answer is like fucking stupid dropped tuning, fucking stupid slowed down breakdowns. That's something we've always really been very heavy proponents of.
I suck at that. Hey, I've tried to do slow breakdowns. I just don't know how to fucking do it.
It sounds like it'd be the easiest thing ever to do, but I think to do it in the correct way, there's like a niche little
nuance.
It's a way to do it. Hey, you know, otherwise it sounds like dog shit. But if you execute it well, it's like the heaviest thing on the planet. Especially getting a perfect little slowdown in.
I'm no good at it.
Yeah, right. I mean,
something I need to work on, because I wouldn't mind chucking one in here or there.
Yeah.
It's not something we would typically do a lot of, but I would love to.
Definitely different kind of genre, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but I like to be a bit eclectic and diverse.
Yeah. It's a fucking very interesting question. What you would define as heavy? Honestly, that's not.
Well, do you ever listen to much Metallica?
No, not really.
You'd know the song One, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well, I was just, to me, that song's heavy. You know, the end
very different definition of heavy there.
But it's just like another facet of heavy. But even though that's in E, it's in standard.
Yeah.
But you listen to like his vocal delivery and
sounds portrayed as well. I guess
it's just like, man, fuck, that's so heavy. It's not heavy as in down tune heavy, but it's just like emotionally heavy or something. Yeah.
I mean, that's an interesting point in regards to heaviness. Is like, that's probably the thing that I resonate with the most. Is vocal, like when you hear something vocally that's fucking harrowing and you can tangibly feel what's being said, that's one of the things that grips me the most. You know what I mean?
I'm the same,
And I think you don't get a lot of that in heavy music, you know what I mean? So much of heavy music is, as you discussed before, almost like a robotic delivery.
Yeah.
Like a excellent vocalist.
Someone told me if I scream, that's how heavy. But it's like, no, but you need the emotion to go along with it.
And like, don't get me wrong, excellent vocalists, like fantastic, especially in like deathcore. There's so many fucking, like, especially in the bigger bands these days, like, you know, Left to Suffer and Signs of the Swarm and like those big deathcore bands, you know, Chelsea Green, Lorna Shore, like fantastic vocalists. But I think it's kind of stripped a little bit of the like that element that you feel, you know what I mean? They're just great vocalists delivering excellent vocals, but you almost want them to be a little bit shit, I find. It's like when I hear a vocalist that like their voice fucking falls away a little bit in their delivery and like they not crack, but like they almost like they're not doing the best job possible, but
well,
you can
they're probably not doing like perfect technique or
exactly.
something.
That's the better word for it. Technique.
Yeah.
Less technique, more fucking soul to shit is what I would always resonate with more. You know what I mean? And back to what we're saying about like heaviness in vocals is to me is when you can fucking feel what the fuck is being said. Man. You know, like that fucks me up more than anything else.
Well, like you're saying with Lorna Shore, I feel like when they came out with that, the song where he's doing all those crazy
man, I wasn't interested in that at all.
Yeah, but it's like that they like peaked with that, and then this is just my take on it.
Yeah.
But it's like they peaked so high with that it's like hard. It's like they're not going to. I can't see him doing anything as out there as that again.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
I get what you're saying. I think they're definitely on a pretty incredible trajectory at the moment.
Yeah, I'm probably wrong. I don't really listen to them much.
I get entirely what you're saying. They're probably never going to put something out that's going to grip the world the way that did. You know what I mean? Because that was just such a ridiculous thing to release.
Yeah.
And that was what kind of blew them up, I guess. You know what I mean? Lorna Shore were a band for fucking eternity before they put that out.
Oh, really? That was the first thing I heard of them. I thought they were like a new band or something.
They fucking had records upon records before.
Oh, really?
Different vocalists. Because that was the first thing that they'd released.
Yeah, because I had a different vocalist. Yeah, that's right.
The old Chelsea Green, the Chelsea Green current vocalist was Lorna Shore's old vocalist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they had a different vocalist after that and shit like that. But like that was like, I mean, it was awesome. Don't get me wrong, but like I was so bored of it after the first like 3 or 4 times I'd heard it.
To be honest, like I wouldn't go listen to it in my car. To be honest, but
it does nothing.
I thought it was cool, but it was almost like a what is it? A gimmick.
It was 100% a gimmick.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I know a thing or two about gimmicks because a lot of what Sedative does is a fucking gimmick, but yeah, like fucking the whole culture that spawned out of that fucking.
So everyone started doing it.
Oh, and all the covers of it, everyone just doing that snarl.
And
shit.
then it's like vocal coach reacts.
Yeah,
on YouTube.
Man, I saw so much of that shit, bro. But yeah, I mean, I shouldn't be so heavy on gimmicks because we definitely pretty heavily lean into the gimmick, as I'm sure you're aware, like one of the things that we do. The fucking Kappa shit, that was 100% a gimmick.
Oh, I don't get that. What is that?
It's a gimmick.
I don't even know what it is. Is that like an exercise brand or something?
It's just a fucking streetwear brand.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'd say I don't know fuck all about it.
We just it's just one of the things we've done from the start. Fucking people were always like, why are you wearing Kappa? And it's like,
why not?
Don't ask, cunt. We're wearing Kappa.
Yeah, it's like, why not?
Yeah.
What do you want me to wear?
Yeah. No, it's like it's more of like a branding thing, you know what I mean? It helps elevate you.
Are they going to give you free clothes?
We do actually talk to Kappa. We have some. I don't want to say too much because we're not fucking directly correlated with them or anything like that. But we do have somewhat of a fucking relationship with them.
Yeah. Right.
But I mean, it's more about like trying to separate yourself from the bulk of bands, There's so many bands out there that'll wear their fucking Die as Murder shirt and their fucking, pair of shorts in every fucking show that they play, And like, there's nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong. But if you see a band that are kind of showing some uniformity, it helps kind of elevate you to a degree, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. No, I'll get what you mean. It's kind of like what Slipknot did with their mask.
Yeah, exactly. Similar idea, you know what I mean?
Sleep Token does now with the mask.
Exactly. Perfect examples. I mean, obviously very different fucking route than what we're doing.
But
like, it's more like
similar kind of.
And it helps like it adds familiarity to your group, you know what I mean? It gives people more things to latch onto,
There's heaps of, it's actually surprising how many bands have kind of like uniforms. Like I know Machine Head, they have like tour uniforms they wear. And
I think tour uniforms are fucking sick.
And they get that, what's her name? You probably know of her. She makes heaps of bands, pants and vests and shit.
Nah, who's saying that?
Killer Rockwear. Oh, fuck, I forget her name now, but she just makes cool shit. I'm like, man, I wish I could buy shit like that. Because instead I'm just wearing like H&M fucking pants.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like...
I don't give a fuck anyway. I'm playing in Perth. Who's going to care?
Yeah, well, that's more been about like our journey and trying to not be... Like, we very much wanted to not be a Perth band.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. There's a few bands that have fallen in that and they're never going to get out.
Exactly.
I'm worried about us doing that. That's
why
you
guys are leaving. That's great.
Yeah, that's right, because it's like we're going to get out of Perth because we're just spinning our wheels. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I'm an honest person. But I don't care about being honest about shit, but it just feels like we're not really getting heaps of new people to shows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's like it's kind of like we've done our dash in Perth. It's time to move on.
It's very easy to stagnate in Perth.
Yeah, that's what I feel like we're doing. We're just stagnating, and we need to get over there. Maybe people take us a bit more seriously or something. Maybe.
Well, I think as soon as you've made the step to as soon as you've made like you're doing something, you know what I mean? You're making the effort, and that automatically makes people take more notice. You know what I mean? Like you've elevated yourselves by going somewhere, which is a fucking huge step, man. It's an important part of the journey, in my opinion.
Yeah, hopefully it has some positive results, which I'm sure it will.
I'm sure
it's not going to be negative.
And it shows that you give a fuck as well, which is a huge deal. So many, as we discussed earlier, so many bands these days just expect to be given fucking this and that, and it's just like, why would you give it to a band that does fucking nothing and expects to be given it over the band that puts in the effort and fucking puts the drive in themselves and makes shit happen for themselves?
Yeah,
to me that's a logical no-brainer. Like, unfortunately, it's not necessarily the way it is, because so many bands are just given shit for no reason. But I think that you can tell which bands deserve shit and which bands don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Think of a few, I think.
Yeah, certainly can.
Not saying any names.
Wouldn't possibly fucking say any.
I'm sure people say it about me too, you know what I mean?
Don't get me wrong. I know that we're shit cunts and people think that we're shit cunts in a lot of ways, but I think if you put all that aside, you can't argue that we fucking work incredibly hard, you know what I mean? And
definitely.
No matter what you think of us, you can't fucking deny that, you know what I'm saying?
No, exactly. And like I said before, it definitely shows from my outsider's perspective, because I'm like, I don't know much about you guys. Yeah. Obviously, I've used on social media, but So from my very outside perspective, it's noticeable.
No, it's awesome. So, man.
So So I noticed you got a few video game tats.
Yeah, I certainly do.
So you're into gaming?
So many people look at me like first glance, like, fuck, this cunt looks covered in tattoos. Must be a tough cunt. Get a bit closer and realize I'm actually a fucking loser. I've always been into gaming, man. That's like. I used to
play games?
Yeah, 100%. I was playing Pokemon before I came here.
Well, that's one thing I've never... I remember when I was... How old are you?
29.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck, I thought you were close to my age. So I'm 8 years older than you, Nelly. But I remember when Pokemon was huge at school.
Yeah.
I was fucking... Not that I didn't like it, I just never got into it, but I wanted to.
You had to be in the bracket. And if you because I see it so often, people that aren't completely hooked on it, like they just don't give a fuck about it. You know,
I want to, but I'm like, I want to get, and it's not Star Wars. I was never into Star Wars, and then only probably like a year or two ago, me and the missus just watched all of them, and then I was like, fuck, I love Star Wars now, and I'm like, man, I wish I had this as a kid, and then the Pokemon thing, because I remember everyone had that Pokemon Go, but I had Pokemon Snap on the N64.
Yep.
And I remember that. And then was it Pokemon Stadium?
Yeah, on 64 as well.
Yeah.
I think, unfortunately, Pokemon is quite a difficult thing to get into these days if you don't have that fucking heavy attachment to it from growing up with it. You know what I mean? Cause
I tried the one on Switch. What was the one that released recently?
The Violet or Scarlet.
Oh, it wasn't one of the I think it was just the base game of it.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, a year or two.
The most recent Violet and Scarlet, and then there was Legends Arceus before that.
Yeah, I think it was the first one on the Switch, as the open worldy 3D one.
Sword and Shield?
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, I bought that, and I was like, I really want to get into it, and I just fucking couldn't. I want to. I don't hate it. I was just like,
it's like
I can't get into it. But.
Unfortunately, at the end of the day, it is still they're games that are made for kids, and this is how I look at it, at least. Like, I'm so heavily attached to it because that's my whole fucking world, like most of my life. Yeah. And you can kind of look past the fact that it's made for kids because you've got such
because if you played it as a kid, you're kind of growing up with it. Whereas if I get into it now, I'm like...
why am I playing a kid's game?
Yeah.
That's how I think it's kind of looked at these days, But, what was I fucking saying
about it? It's cool, though. I fucking like the concept.
Pokemon,
how they got the different, elements and shit.
Yeah.
Like fire and water and all that bullshit.
It's fucking very convoluted the more you get into that, to be honest, especially Pokemon competitively and shit.
Yeah.
I used to actually play games professionally when I was a bit younger.
Did you?
Yeah, 5 years I played games professionally.
What game?
Smite. Similar to League of Legends.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's...
It was like a, League of Legends, the top-down view.
Yeah. It's kind of like Diablo and Baldur's Gate kind of thing.
Smite was like a third-person MOBA, essentially. Similar to League of Legends, but from a third-person
Oh, so kind of like WoW?
More of like a mix between WoW and purely from the like gameplay point of view, and then like League of Legends and Dota. Yeah, I played that professionally for 5 years.
I know a guy that I work with that blew like fucking 13 grand or something on one of them games. Wow. It was on his phone though.
Just on
it might have been like Raid Legends or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That Raid Shadow Legends. I always see the ads for that.
Ad everywhere.
They must fucking pump some money into the ad.
I mean, it's obviously working if they're putting that much.
Because every YouTube dude is like, oh, by the way, I'm from our sponsor, and then it's that, and I'm like, they must just fucking pump money out into the advertisement.
Has to have worked for them, surely.
Yeah, well, it's fucking everywhere, and I've never played them games. Only games I've played that are kind of, I guess, similar, but you're probably more educated on that than me, but like was Diablo 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And then like, what was the other fucking game? Was it, wasn't World of Warcraft, was the other one? Oh, might have been, or was it Warhammer or something?
Warhammer, yeah.
Or something like that, but I never fully got into them. I was more Command and Conquer.
Yeah.
And,
Red Alert.
Red Alert and StarCraft.
Yeah.
And then like Company Heroes, the World War II kind of shit. And then
I love that shit.
FPSs.
Red Alert 2, I reckon I've spent so much fucking time playing that game, bro.
Oh, good. How they did the remaster recently? Yeah, I got that on the PC.
That's sick as
I just got no mates to play with because I don't have any gaming mates.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. Since I stopped playing professionally, like everyone, like over the journey of me playing professionally, everyone kind of waned off, and towards the end it was only me and a couple of my mates. Like I still had teammates and shit, but like my good mates, they all stopped playing. Yeah, okay. And I'm like, fuck, nowadays I got no fucking friends that play games. It sucks, man. Like,
that's even with GoldenEye, because on the Xbox it's that re-release it doesn't have online, so it's couch multiplayer only. Yeah, right. And I said to the missus, I was like, oh, I've got a second control, we should play it, but she's not into games really.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, fucking, and I'm like, man, I wish I had some fucking. Yeah, but I just don't know any cunt.
Like, fucking hit me up next time, bro.
Yeah, where do you live?
Coburn, pretty much.
Oh, right, yeah.
Bit of a drive, but it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
I'd be down for that.
Fucking, I love that.
I've been starting to try to do that shit more often. I just actually recently, it was last weekend or maybe the weekend before.
Oh, use it like hanging out with like Ben Mantegna and all that, playing video games?
Yeah, I had a fucking little Super Smash Bros tournament. It was 6 fun. Yeah, Benny's a good cunt. He's a good fucking he's a good friend of ours, so I told him to come.
He's such a nice young dude, man.
What a warm-hearted individual, honestly.
He's a good fella. I got so much time for him.
Yeah, he's a good cunt. We little Smash Bros tournament at my house. That was good fun, eh? Like just trying to do more of that shit, just because I just love games, and unfortunately, playing games professionally for so long, it kind of tarnished playing games just for pleasure. Yeah, okay, it like really changed. Like I very seriously played games. Like my whole career professionally, I was like, it so much so that I was playing like 4 or 5 hours a night.
Yeah, right.
Like for contracted shit.
Yeah, you make any money?
Yeah, I made a fair bit of money.
Yeah, right.
Playing all around Australia and shit.
Fuck.
Yeah, like
because you see some of the prizes
at events. Crazy. I mean, obviously, like events around Australia, I was competing at quite often. I was on a fair few different. Pretty prestigious teams in my time as well. Yeah,
I seen was it PewDiePie that Charlie guy, Penguins or whatever his name?
Yeah.
I seen him put up a compilation of guys from them, like the super geeky dudes from them.
Yeah.
And they're talking like the promo chicks, and it's fucking so cringy. Yeah. It's like they got no idea how to talk to chicks.
I think I've fucking seen something similar to that.
And some of them like try trash talk, and it's like it's like when you hear Sheldon off Big Bang trying to trash talk. It's like
yeah,
right.
Yeah, really. It made it really difficult for a long time there to just like enjoy just casually playing a game. So I've been really trying to like over the last few years trying to do like just to enjoy games again. Yeah, because I love games.
Do you play COD?
I have from time to time.
Oh man, I've got the new one
these days. Yeah. The first Warzone I was pretty heavily invested in, but
they've turned shit now. Like
is it really? Yeah, I know. Fucking Scott and Ryan play heaps from Sedative.
Oh, okay. Well, you know that it's skill-based matchmaking.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's not ruined it now.
Is it really?
Because you'll have like a good match where you get like I'm okay at the game. I'm not shit, but I'm not fucking amazing at it.
Yeah.
But some matches I'll get like 30 kills and say like 6 deaths. So that's pretty good for me. And then the next match I'll get like 20 deaths and 3 kills. And I'm like,
Because instantly trying to match you to better people.
Yeah, because and then I was like, what the fuck's going on? And then I saw some shit come up on YouTube, and then I started looking into it, that skill-based matchmaking. And then these people did all these tests and that, and then they found some patents from Activision.
Yeah.
And what they do is like they can adjust your aim and your like hitbox on the fly, depending how you're playing.
Oh wow!
And then
I didn't know it was that fucking hectic. Wow.
Yeah, and then they did tests with people's footsteps, and they'll make them really. If you're doing really good, you can't hear other players coming. If you're doing really shit, you can hear footsteps really loud.
Wow. Okay.
And then they one guy did a thing on the firing range bit in the multiplayer in the gunsmith. You can quickly go in the firing range and test your weapon tuning. And this guy's shooting at a target and he misses like 3 shots, but he's using a scope and it's like dead on, and none of them hit. Yeah. Like you don't get the hit marker thing. And then a couple after do, and then he has a really shit match. And then all of a sudden, all his hits are hit, and he's like, and there's heaps of people just, you know what Reddit's like, cunts are doing like fully like doing fucking like investigations into
Reddit's pretty hectic like that.
Yeah, and it's just 100% fucks with all your shit.
That's crazy.
And
man.
I was like, I'll stop playing. I was like, you know what, if I'm genuinely shit at the game, just let me be genuinely shit and pit me up against whoever, and I'll get better. Yeah. But don't like tailor it so new players get a rush, because that's what they're doing, trying to get like young kids to make it feel like they're hell sick at the game when they're not. And then it's like people that actually spend hours crafting it and being really good at it. Yeah, it's making them shit, and it's like it's fucked, man. If you're putting the hours in, you should be fucking rewarded by.
I didn't realize that was a fucking thing. That's
crazy.
Man. Wow.
Yeah, it's fucked. Cunts. So I'm fucking boycotted it for now.
Yeah, fair enough.
Back to Battlefield 4.
Yeah. Fucking back to GoldenEye.
Yeah, and GoldenEye doesn't fucking lie. Doesn't cheat. It's never done me wrong.
Yeah, I'm fucking pretty heavy on like Nintendo stuff these days, just because it's fucking, I don't know, Nintendo stuff just makes me happy, bro.
What console did you ever have? The N64?
No, I didn't have a 64 growing up. I had a PS1, and then I went to GameCube.
Yeah, GameCube was sick.
And then I had GameCube and Xbox, and that's kind of been me ever since. I've just had both of those trains as they've evolved.
Yeah.
360. And
I had 360. Fuck, that's some good games, man.
Fucking 360. The era of 360 Wii and PS3 was like...
Yeah, man.
That was peak, you know what I mean?
I fucking played so much of that Rainbow Six Vegas too.
Yeah.
On
exactly what
360.
I fucking obliterated that game, bro.
Terrorist hunt with my mate, just trying to unlock all the shit.
Terrorist hunt?
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about, bro. I capped that game on its head.
And throwing smoke grenades and using the thermal goggles to kill all the enemies.
Mad hard on that game, bro.
Yeah, it's sick, man.
I fucking have such fond memories of Rainbow Six Vegas too.
Fucking fuck, what else what I used to play on that? I played I play heaps of Forza because I don't mind driving games, but on the GameCube, man, that was like that console got a bad rap, man. That was a sick console.
That was like probably my favorite console.
You ever play that game Geist on there?
No, I know a lot about it.
Yeah, that was cool. I played that.
GameCube
that was
had such a fucking awesome range of fucking titles, man. And just like shit.
Mario Kart was sick on that, and the Zelda, that Wind Waker was fucking awesome.
Never been about Zelda personally, but never really.
What?
I think I just missed the train on Zelda, you know. And I just like never.
What about Mario?
Mario's my world, bro. That's my favorite shit ever. Mario and fucking Pokemon are like my two favorite.
Mugs of Super Mario one,
and Kirby obviously as well, you know.
Oh yeah, on played the Kirby demo on Switch.
Yeah,
but I've never actually fully properly played it.
I think that's kind of similar to Pokemon as well. In fairness, if you didn't really.
Oh really?
I don't think you really.
Isn't it kind of like Yoshi, more like?
Similar in a sense.
You just kind of jump around levels.
A little bit gimmicky in a sense, I would say.
Side scrolling though, mostly. Like,
no, the new one's not. But
is it open world or 3D?
A lot of Kirby's are side scrolling.
Yeah, okay.
But
what do you do? Like eat stuff, not shit, but stuff.
You take a lot. That is the gimmick. Is you like fucking you eat fucking people and take their abilities to eat enemies. Sorry, and take. Their abilities. That's like the gimmick of Kirby.
Well, then you can do different like shootout, like different.
Yeah, like so you'll fucking there'll be a cunt that fucking shoots fireballs and you'll suck him up and take his abilities and then you can shoot fireballs for him. And then, like a myriad of different enemies, and that's kind of like the gimmick of Kirby.
Yeah, right. Did you ever play Scribblenauts?
No.
You know what it is?
No. Sounds familiar.
Man, that was the fucking coolest game. It was on DS, 3DS.
Okay.
And then I think they might be on the Switch, I'm not sure, but what you do is you have like a level and you write a word in there and it'll make what like you can be whatever. Right. So you can put like a bat with shotgun or something, it'll make that. It's just different ways of trying to finish the level in front of you.
Yeah, okay.
And
cool concept.
And it's surprising how many things you can type in and it'll make. It's like, fuck, they put so many phrases in here that are recognised. And check it out. It's really fucking like cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah, GameCube was fucking awesome, man. That was like... I still have my GameCube and everything.
Oh, I don't have mine anymore.
I've always been pretty adamant about keeping everything over the years.
Did you play Metroid on there?
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Did you play New Metroid?
Yeah, man.
Fuck, that was exceptional.
Fucking amazing. What was that called again?
Metroid
Dread, that's right. Yeah, because you had them ones that would scan.
The Emmys.
Yeah, Emmys, yeah.
Fuck, that game's incredible, honestly. That
fucking
was like,
amazing game.
What a fucking... what a re-entry into the Metroid series.
Yeah. Did you ever have a SNES?
No.
Super NES? No, because me and my brother, he's not around anymore, but we used to play that flat out, that Super Metroid on there. Yeah. And so, because it's just nostalgic, because me and him used to play that, I just fucking love that game. Yeah, that's good fun. And then that Dread is like that, but it's like a newer version. Yeah.
What a difficult game as well. Fuck.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime 4 is coming out.
Yeah. Isn't that been like getting developed for 10 fucking years?
It's one of those things that's always been like hinted at and rumoured and like delayed and all this.
Well, didn't they sack one of the development companies and go with another one or something? Because they were fucking around with it so long.
I don't know that much about it. I just know that it's supposed to be this year.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Finally. And a new Zelda this year? Oh, you're not in Zelda.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking soon, the new Zelda, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, right.
Hope it's good because I didn't like the last one, that Breath of the Wild. I thought was shit.
Really?
I thought it was
like the only person I've ever heard say that. Wow.
I know that's it's not a popular take.
Not that I've never played it or never big on Zelda, but like that's crazy. I've always heard such positive things about it.
Well, I just always loved like A Link to the Past and like Ocarina of Time and stuff like that. Because with them you have like you collect like legendary things. So like you have the Master Sword, or you get like the hover boots, so you can hover across fucking gaps. And there's kind of like things like special items.
Yeah.
But in Breath of the Wild, they do have them, but they're nowhere near as big of a part. You just pick up weapons off enemies and then they break after a while. Yeah. Then you can do like cooking. It's like Skyrim.
I've always hated the mechanic of destructible weapons.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. You know what game's fucking amazing? Dark Souls.
Yeah,
Elden Ring.
I was actually about to comment on what you just said about Breath of the Wild because like it's similar to what you're saying now. What you just said about Breath of the Wild is exactly how I was with Elden Ring. I fucking thought it was one of the worst games I've ever played in my life.
I loved it. But to be honest, I like the more linear of the FromSoft games. I fucking love Dark Souls and Demon Souls. Have you played them?
Nah, so I honestly, I really love the concept of them. I think and I've seen, like, I watch a lot of content, you know what I mean? I always see stuff about Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, you know?
Yeah.
And I think they look great and they're really cool. And then Elden Ring came out. I was like, all right, I'm
Did you get it?
Yeah, I've got it. And I was like, I'm going to get on the train and start getting into it. And I was like, I played it for a good, like, 4 or 5 hours. Yeah. I really gave it a shot.
I think if you played the other games, they're probably like a better introduction to it.
I think I probably would think differently if I'd played the others.
I think so too.
Holy fuck. Honestly, Elden Ring, one of the worst things I've ever played.
I get it though, because I think that kind of game is like you either love it or hate it. I don't really know of anyone that kind of like, the game's okay.
I remember I fragged it on social media and I had so much uproar about it as well.
Yeah, really?
I was like, fucking Elden Ring is the worst video game ever. I intentionally provocatively said something hell inflammatory about it. And so many people fucking got
that's what I think about God of War. I think that about God
really?
of War. I know that's...
I haven't played it either, but I know it's quite critically acclaimed.
It's fucking so overrated, man. I bought it, the last one, not the one that just came out, the one before that, on PS4 Pro. And I played it and I was like, fuck, this is so fucking overrated, man. Right. I'm like, what? It's shit. It's boring as fuck.
That's funny as fuck. So many people fucking.
And I wrote that on there, and people like, fucking, they just get all shitty about it, which I get,
I love saying shit to wind people up these days.
Yeah.
Just recently, I said something about clean vocals on fucking.
Oh, I saw that.
Bro, people were fucking heated over that shit.
I get it. I don't like whiny clean vocals.
I don't like clean vocals at all. Sorry, that's completely untrue. I love clean vocals. Don't get me wrong. But I don't want to hear deathcore with clean vocals, it's not the place for it.
I get it, yeah, because some of them are super whiny and they're like, it's like, I thought you were heavy. I thought you were like angry, man.
Yeah, and exactly. Like,
my mind. Pack my lunch today.
Yeah, just like metalcore in general, you know. Just it's time to grow up. Just be heavy. If you're gonna be a heavy band, just be a heavy band.
Do you think metalcore's dying?
I hope it's dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's too much of it. There's so many.
I probably shouldn't say anything because might have a metalcore guest on here sometime.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
I probably shouldn't be too much of an opinionated cunt.
I won't incite too many comments about metalcore.
I'm really opinionated person to the point where I need to stop because I need to. I've finally realised that people have opinions that differ to mine, but I'm just a fucking opinionated prick. Always have been.
Yeah.
And I probably shouldn't be because I know it's like an unlikable trait, and I think that's why I clash with people.
Well, I don't know if it's an unlikable trait. I actually quite respect people that stick to their fucking opinions and just like can be reasonable about it. You know what I mean?
I think I've got. If I want to have a diverse amount of people on here, I think I should probably just keep my opinions to myself.
Yeah, it's hard being in the scene, you know, because you can't. You know, it sounds like I'm fucking hiding some hectic opinion or something, but you can't say certain stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta be reserved about situations and kind of.
I think like you. Don't worry. I think that like if people have something to say and they believe it, I think they should be able to say it.
Yeah.
And that's one thing about nowadays. This just goes into everything, you know, with politics and all that shit. Is
you
like
really feel like you can't say anything.
Well, now people they like aren't happy unless you agree with them. They're like you have to agree with them, or you know, and it's just like what's wrong with someone having a different opinion?
There's nothing wrong with that. I know exactly.
Heaps of people don't agree with me, and I'm like, cool. Well, as long as you're cool with me not agreeing with you,
exactly.
Then we can both live in harmony.
As long as it's done in a reasonable way, there's nothing wrong with it. But that's just so not the world we live in.
Yeah, people like freedom of speech, but as long as it's my freedom of speech. As long as you agree with me, and you see that so much. And like someone was talking about Twitter recently.
Yeah.
I had a guest on, and I was like, man, I logged on there, I made an account. And I was like, mate, it's like, I think I said this on the podcast. I was like, if someone was to ask me can you show me what mental illness looks like? I would just go log on to fucking Twitter. Because, mate, it's
very
just like, fucking hell, man. And these people, so you do realise that if you turn off your computer or your phone, there's like a world outside.
Yeah.
These people get so caught up on there in like gender shit and all that. And it's like, and then... Oh, mate, it's just some of it's just so toxic, and people like wishing death on other people and shit. Like,
it's always taken way too far from those kind of groups.
Like fucking, so you know all these purple-haired weird cunts, man. It's like
it's most of our scene.
Shit. No, but like, but it's like if people can have their opinions about whatever, just let me have mine too.
Yeah,
and I hate how people like think opinions hurt people. They're like, your opinion could be hurting people. You know when. About like the vax and all that when people had their take on that, they're like, oh, your opinion could kill people. So if someone's gonna die from my opinion because they took advice from me or took my opinion seriously and then live their life by it, well then sorry, that ain't my fucking problem. You know, everyone's responsible for their own lives and actions, and I think we need to get back to that now because people have gone away from that, and it's like you know that people can be responsible for themselves.
There's such a sensitivity around fucking words and
like how there's like
days.
Every time anything's to do, like mentioned with COVID or vax on social media, there's like that disclaimer. Yeah, but there's always like for more information, click this. It's like if people can't like research shit by now or make up their own mind about shit or whatever, then there's no fucking hope for them, is there?
Yeah, I think
and that little disclaimer you put down the bottom, it's not fucking helping.
No. Not at all. It's an interesting world that we fucking live in these days.
It is, man. So, so anything else you wanted to get out there?
No, that's about it, man. I've fucking gone on about 7,000 tangents today. I fucking know.
That's good. It was a good
fucking
chat.
Terrible for that. I'd start talking about one thing and carry on to the next and fucking never come back to the first thing. Yeah.
Oh, man.
That'll do it then, eh?
Yeah, sorry, I was just looking at
How long we hit here?
An hour and 32 minutes.
It's a fair whack.
I don't want to use these.
Yeah, right.
For a minute there, I was thinking, what
run through the board.
There's a lot of voice ones like
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, I didn't really give you any opportunities to use any of that shit, did I?
What about that?
Oh, this is us now.
Oh, what? It only works for me.
Dude, I thought that was a soundbite. I didn't realise that was you talking.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's fucking trippy.
Doesn't affect your one, though.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
know why that is.
That was a trip.
What about, what's this? Boys.
Hello?
What about,
There you go. Well, that's the same as the other one, pretty much.
That's some real Barry White shit there.
Yeah. Come on down to the motorplex. So we got top door slammers.
That's good fun.
Yeah. That's all pretty fucking gimmicky shit.
That's good fun. Man.
Fucking, what's this? I should have done that before streamed your song. Or something.
Just a little sound intro.
Or I should have. What was that? Yeah. Nah.
That's for fucking when you got someone who doesn't want to say fuck all there.
After your thing, I should have put this.
Yeah.
I'm joking, man.
No, I agree with you.
I should have been this.
Sure, cuz. All right, man. Well, thanks so much for having me. Yeah, really do appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you coming down, man, and yarning about all that cool shit, and
Talking
also the
absolute-
song sample. That's cool, man.
It's fucking good to get a little sneak peek in there.
Yeah,
just before it comes out, you know.
yeah, definitely, man. Well, yeah, thanks for that.
No worries at all, my bro.
I'll take it easy, and
We'll speak
good
soon.
luck with the tour and all that shit.
Thank you so much. Very excited, you know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fucking awesome time on the road with me bros, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll kill it.
Fuck the shows, man. I'm just talking about eating 3 meals a day in a different state every day.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the best part about tour for me, bro.
All the different food.
Oh, we go real hard when we're on tour. We like plan out all the restaurants we're going
Oh,
to. And
do you?
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
What food do you eat?
fucking
Like
whatever,
burgers?
man. Oh, plenty of burgers and all that kind of shit. We just it's like good. It's a good part of tour, you know. It's like,
Yeah,
obviously, you're in different states every day. It's like
Yeah.
fun to go and like eat at different places, you know.
yeah, fucking oath.
Yeah, so that'll be fucking sick.
Anyway,
Yeah, cool.
all right, man. Cheers.
Cheers.